Alrighty guys, welcome back to another video. Hope you're having a great week. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about a change of the guard.
Meltdown. None of these things happened.
The shaking and vomiting happened in my mind, all right? You all saw it, guys. Someone else back me.
A bully won't stop till you stand up to him. You ain't gonna win if you're playing on losing.
All right. So first and foremost, yeah, this isn't clickbait. It's not. It's a question. And I have been told to quit Star Citizen since basically 2015. I've been told by members of the community team or member of the community team, pretty much. I've been told by members of this community to quit since basically I started, since I had any relevancy whatsoever, because I was opinionated and people didn't like those opinions, which is totally normal, right? This time feels a little bit different. I feel frustrated. I feel all these things around what I believe to be very bad choices made, because I haven't been motivated and I haven't been happy. Most of what I'm dealing with is frustration from what Star Citizen might become, not what it's becoming, what it might become. I read a post yesterday, and I normally would not read something this long because I think it's just ridiculous. And for whatever reason, I decided to read this, and I want to read it to you because I think it represents very well what you might be feeling about me. As far as the YouTube people go, I haven't been posting very much, so I don't know how many of you have actually seen this, but I think this resonates to be completely true, and I'll let the comments on the screen determine if they actually are. This is from Faith Ev 8415. And they said, Mike, since you brought up item recovery at the end of this video, I'll say this since you mentioned elsewhere that you feel your streams have been bad and your channel is dying. I don't feel the channel's dying, but I feel like if I continue on this path, it will. For someone who has enjoyed your streams until very recently, here's some advice you can take or leave. You being critical of Star Citizen has never been an issue, as long as criticism has been fair and justified. It's easier for people to relate to your experiences when you're stating observable reality, okay? But when you start focusing heavily on your personal opinions, on gameplay, when you're shitting on the game incessantly because the design differs from your personal desire, this is about, obviously, the item recovery, you instead come across like a whining baby, and it is extremely unappealing to be an audience member for those shows. First and foremost, how have you felt about these things? Number one, those are my opinions. And I'm not getting one guide. I honestly I think that this one guy is absolutely correct on a lot of things. Slightly off, but mostly correct. I've always talked about my personal opinions about gameplay, and this is not, this is definitely observable reality that the Tier 0 implementation is really bad, and there's a lot of better things that they could have done. Now, one thing that I have observed is that they've been posting new patches very often, not necessarily making any changes in the PTU, which is where my concerns are starting to come from, but whatever this crappy Tier 0 implementation is, it could change in 4.1.1 in reality, right? You've also allowed your dislike for item recovery to turn you into a troll in-game. This is where it's completely unfair. Killing people on site in Stanton, no less. I have done that at Hathor because you kind of have to, and that's all I've done. So I'm a little confused by this one. Rather than trying to communicate with them like you used to, while using item recovery as an excuse, jumping in front of players who are waiting in line in a shop terminal. okay, that was just a joke. But yeah, I did that yesterday, and this person is like really upset about it. It was literally just a joke. And then making jokes about spitting on players for purchasing, cash shop stuff when I purchased them myself, which he points out here. To a viewer like myself, it is hard to tell if this is you acting in anger or simply showing your true colors. It was neither. It was a joke. But okay, I guess I'm a very good actor. It is surprising to viewers that might not, is it surprising that viewers might not want to support your channel like that? It's a joke. Take it easy. But I talked about how I do believe this change is going to force me down the route that I tend to go down in all MMOs. I've talked about this plenty of times. I started out as a crafter. There's tons of competition in crafting, and there's tons of leveling things to work on.
Let's first start off with the first problem. Montoya from Test. The most mentally unstable, deranged, mental patient we have in this game's entire community. The guy is holding on by a thread to reality. If that, he is the biggest joke, the biggest clown we have in this community. He owns an Aurora. Full stop. Yep, he is the biggest mental patient in this game's community that has ever existed and ever will. Guys, once 1.0 hits, his organization will disintegrate into nothing. He'll be exiled and disappear, thank God, finally, from the game. Right? He was never going to engage with actually playing the game. He is just an attention-seeking, narcissistic psychopath who needs serious mental help. Just forget Montoya exists, guys. Stop watching his videos. Stop paying him any attention. Stop any interaction with him. Okay? He'll get desperate, he'll get nasty, and he'll show his true colors in the end. Now, we've done with the mental patient at this stage. Mike, it's time, mate. It's time to call last drinks at the pub. It's time to leave. I'm sorry, but your relevance in this community is no longer relevant. You're not relevant. And what you want and what you think you want aren't what is happening with Star Citizen moving forward, mate. Okay, yeah, you and I had a clash a few years ago. I proved my point about server meshing. I've proved my point about all of the development issues and everything. I took a break for 6.5 years. Luckily got to work with Riot Games in that time, made some money doing it. To then, I had my contract end with everybody else's because the restructure and failure basically of the business. To then come back to Star Citizen as a free agent to reassess the situation in 3.2.5 or 3.25, whatever it was, to then now, right? And I said years ago, Mike, that 4.0 moving forward is when we were going to start actually having real developmental change. If you don't believe me, go back and watch my videos, mate. Things are changing for the massive better for all of us. You are holding on to something that was never going to be. Now your community is turning on you because you're getting nasty and displaced from your dream of what Star Citizen could be. This isn't your playground anymore, mate. This is big boy school. Yeah, we're heading to 1.0. We're heading to a minimum viable retail product now, which is an MMO, not a sandbox for flying ships and shooting stuff in Arena Commander. Okay, mate, it's either you need to grow up and change, and I mean your personality, your person who you are, to be more of a positive person. Maybe rename yourself from Salty Mike to Happy Mike and be Happy Mike, mate. People are done with the bitching, the whinging, and the flip-flopping, opinionated bullcrap you carry on with. Right? You've created a really bad stigma for yourself in the community. When you were Twerk back in the day, you were really likable. As soon as you renamed yourself to Salty Mike, people just kind of got over it, mate. Whinging and bitching and moaning about every little thing just to make some money on YouTube. The fact you centralized your entire YouTube career around Star Citizen was your first fatal mistake. Moving forward, it is the grave you're digging yourself. It's not the game for you. EVE Online was your game, like so many others. This is never going to be EVE Online. You need to put every one of your ships on Star Hangar and get out now before they're worth $0. As you know, mate, if your community is so harshly putting you in your place now, you need to have that reality check and go, okay, yeah, my time's up. I've had a good 8 years doing this. Fantastic. I've got a lot of subscribers and I lost a lot more. And now you're even losing more again. Your channel is on a declination, mate, not an inclination anymore. Cut your losses or take a break from YouTube, take a break from Star Citizen, wait for 1.0, reassess the situation, and then maybe come back or maybe not and wait a little bit longer to re-engage. I took 6.5 years off for this exact reason, mate, because I was becoming salty like you. I was becoming negative. I was becoming a naysayer at the same time as shutting down a cult, dealing with a bunch of psychopaths, and also realizing that the hardware is the issue. It still is. I'm still right about literally everything I said back then, mate. And I was right about 4.0 moving forward. Okay, so don't try to explain yourself away to your audience, because all you're doing in that video there is justifying your shit position that you're in, that you've put yourself in, and you're trying to then tell the audience off that what they're saying is irrelevant. Mate, what you're saying now is irrelevant. Please get a reality check. Take a break for a couple of weeks. Get your head together. Do a rename on your channel to Happy Mike as an example name, and change your attitude. Change your mindset. Look forward. Don't hold back. Look at the positive stuff that's coming. Do some research and don't worry about stupid referral codes. Honestly, if there's YouTubers out there, right, that are whinging about that right now, you have no idea of how much that angers me deeply. I'm not going to show it on video, but they're scabs. They're piggybacking off people who are actually investing in the development and buying ships, right? They want shit for free. Nothing in life comes for free. And if you're piggybacking on other people, you are using people. That's narcissistic and disgraceful behavior to start with. So if you're whinging about getting referral codes, also, you as a YouTuber, you need to leave this development too and move on. This is not the game for you. Anyone trying to spend $10,000+ on buying ships, you're a fucking idiot. 1, because you can only pull one ship out at a time. 2, if you have a Javelin, 200 people minimum to properly run that ship at any one time. Sorry, you're going to demand that 200 people from your org, big or small, get on that ship and just fly it, right? You know how many people are going to go tell you to stick it up your ass and probably leave your org? Mass majority. Guys, the way things were and the way things are, not could be, not should be, not maybe, like Mike just said, but are going to be based on a completely different way of thinking. Now, I've done a series of videos prior to this showing you how Star Citizen is going to work. Full stop. Not how it might work, how it is going to work. So if you haven't watched those videos, please do. I know Scout or Die didn't get that much of an interested audience because it's most people don't want to play, which is fair. But please watch it anyway, because it is in part of the other 2 videos prior in relation to actually how to play Star Citizen correctly as of 1.0 moving forward. So guys, look, the old guard, right, a lot of org leaders are going to fail. 1, because they have not done the research, they have not put in the hours, they have not put in the effort, then they have not done the learning, which means their management do not also have those same sets of learning outcomes either. So when push comes to shove, and when the game actually goes live, do you think anybody is going to be wanting to jump on capital ships and Polarises and just fly around and do training? God, no. They're going to want to go out and play the game. They're going to want to start their professions. They're going to want to make money. And they are going to want to be able to have the flexibility of doing things when they want, how they want, and with who they want in your org. So for those of you that do not understand how an org is meant to be structured, your org leader is the most responsible person in your org. That's the guy that's got to do the job, second life job, 24/7. He's then got to have management, she as well, has to have management below them to then be able to have that management, one, competent in every division that you're running in your org, be fully around all of the standard operating procedures and training manuals for staff below them to make sure that training is done for everybody, so everybody is getting the best experience out of the game possible. Yeah? 90% of people in this game just want to play it, but they want to be taught how to play it properly to a certain extent or a full extent, and aspire towards management themselves because they are passionate about what they're doing. How many of you orgs can say, I have a structure where everybody understands the standing operating procedures, knows brevity off by heart, and is so well trained that they are autonomous and able to train anybody at any time from any rank below them? Please pop off in the comments. I would really like to know how many of you org leaders and org management are able to solemnly state on your heart that yes, I am capable of training everybody below me in the division I'm in, and with actual training manuals, brevity training, as well as exercise training, flight nights. Yeah, I would like to find out, because at the end of the day, what my org is going to be doing is not what any of you expected to be doing. So next week, finally, I'm going to drop the video, drop the marketing video I've done, explain everything in great detail, and have you guys go, oh, that's different. That's not in line with what we have planned. Interesting. And yes, it won't be in line with what you have planned. That's the whole idea. Individuality and being unique in this game is going to be a massive, massive thing for all of us. If you're just a PMC org, you're mercenaries for hire. You're a dime a dozen. If you're flyboys, you know, elite ace pilots, you once again, you're for hire and you're a dime a dozen. Cargo, mining, salvage orgs. If you're specifically focusing on one of those things, you're a dime a dozen contractor. If you're piracy, and that's a totally different story, right? But what I'm trying to say to you guys is that science orgs shouldn't just be science orgs. Farming orgs shouldn't just be farming orgs or farming hunting orgs, yeah? Because you're in too narrower a laneway in which to grow and expand, because you'll get set in a certain gameplay loop and stuck in it. Everyone that's coming into this game from Squadron 42, I promise you, will want to try everything that is available. If you have a manager or a commander, whatever role you would like to appoint name-wise to them, okay, fine, whatever. That's semantics. But someone who is a leader, who is trained in that specific division to an elite level, i.e. Master Cargo for me, although Master Cargo isn't my main gameplay loop in any stretch of the imagination. It's just to ensure that when we start in 1.0, I can make money stupid quick and get us out of Stanton. Oh, yeah, money. Hey, that's a big thing. I guarantee you none of your orgs have started planning for that yet, and how to make it, who's going to be doing it, who's going to be responsible for the org banking, who's going to take care of the books. Yes, this is a second business in the works, guys. This is a second life. And I know none of you are taking this seriously enough at this stage. So my discussion here is that the old guard need to just either change with the times, leave the community, or take an extended break and come back. If, for example, with Mike and other certain YouTubers, if you're finding you're losing subscribers, you're having drop-off, that you're becoming complacent with the current content and in the development itself, and your opinion is outweighing your technical understanding and acumen of how Star Citizen is developing now moving forward, it's time you find something else to play, because this isn't the game for you. This is a highly complicated and technical intellectual game that will require you to use your upper brain a majority of the time during your week to be planning forward, to be organizing groups of people to go do things, i.e. miners, cargo, scouts, and salvage, just to make your money each week, to have your resources, to be able to expand on your base, think about blueprinting, think about science, research, engineering, hunting, farming, the whole bit. You've got to be thinking 24/7 as an org leader. And that's the thing, as an org leader, your ultimate responsibility is to make sure that everybody in your org is happy and busy. If you're not willing to take on that responsibility, it's time you shut your org down and disband it. Because all you're going to have happen is, as of 1.0, it's going to disband by itself and you're going to get a horrible name for yourself and get exiled. If you get exiled, then you're nobody. No one wants you. Then what? You got 10 grand's worth of ship and no one to play with. Think about it, guys. There are certain orgs with old men running it, and those old men are completely deranged. And they've never been in a position of leadership or control. They're just old men with shitty attitudes and are scared of any change. Once again, the old guard. ADI is a perfect example as an organisation of that massive problem. A mass majority of orgs are going to fail as of 1.0. My advice is go shopping. And if you're in an org now, I know, look, the mass majority of you have not engaged with the development in years now. Played the game, let alone come to the community on a regular basis to get these updates, because it's the same flip and flop and whinge crap. No one wants to hear that. You don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch that. I want to learn about new developments and good things. Referral codes, come on, who's a shit, right? Tier 0, item recovery. Okay, yeah, sure, that's server related. That's why they're doing it. It's also to bring in the insurance system as well and ease people in like a hot bath into that mindset and that gameplay loop and understand how that intricately works with you getting your ships back if you buy them in game and you're paying insurance on them, or you bought your ship and you haven't got LTI on it, how important it's going to be to insure your ship and pay your insurance each month or annually. Same with your armor if you bought it from the store. Same with your guns if you bought them from the store. Guys, as I say, this is going to be a mass multiplayer online game. This is not a sandbox. It's not Tarkov. It's not Elite Dangerous. It's certainly not EVE Online. And this is where the mass majority of the old guard come from, is they're EVE Onliners. They've spent stupid amounts of money, or they have access to stupid amounts of disposable income because they're rich, not that bright, obviously. And they never understood from the very beginning ship ownership. If you own a Javelin, that's nice. That's the only thing you can pull out at the time, isn't it? Oh, but I've got a Polaris and I've got an Idris P and I've got all this stuff. Great, fantastic. Which ship do you want to pull out today? Oh, but I can call out all these other ships and have and you're going to spend your entire day calling ships out to have people meet you at whatever station it is, to then captain and man those ships, to then get the next one out and 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 the next one out. You're going to spend literally your entire day just calling ships, let alone trying to actually command people and get things done and have rosters set up and have people having meetings and things getting actually done. Solving inter-org issues with people who are squabbling because it's human nature. Being an org leader is so much more complicated than any of you are giving it credit for. Let alone being in senior management in an org, because shit rolls downhill. If you do not see what is coming, pack up and leave, or disband and become a free agent for now. Don't be in an org of any kind. When 1.0 hits, see what's happening, then go org shopping. Look at the orgs that are starting to show up at the top. Not numbers, but what they're selling. Whether it's their law and their community, their charter, what is going to suit you personally. Not, it's a massive org, so it's got to be great. No, the biggest are the worst. They're the most discombobulated, disorganized, and toxic of them all. Because you've just got people there for the social event. Not because they play the game or that they want to be your friend. No, they're there to gain information to suit themselves, to then eventually either share that with another party in the game, another organization, yes, spies galore, to then use that information against the org you're in, to then have you guys go out and get shot down within 5 minutes because your org leader doesn't know how to manage his management team and get people eyes on and ears on. Yeah, espionage. Oh, that's a big part of it, isn't it? Oh, funny that. Guys, if you're in a massive org right now, it is going to fail. There is no question about it. If you're in a mid-size org, it is probably going to fail. If you're in a more close-knit and smaller org, maybe 250 or less, you've got a great chance of succeeding. But you need to vet everybody that comes back online from being offline for so many years to see if their values and ideas still align with yours. Yeah. So for those of us that are starting new orgs right now, we have the benefit and the luxury of being able to vet anyone applying. Look into their socials, look into their dossier, and look at Spectrum. See if that name pops up. Heavy Bob, for example, you moron. So, yeah, we get to be able to handpick and interview people at our leisure. And yes, we might grow slower, but you know what? By the time we eventually do get the right numbers, whatever those numbers may be, for our need and purpose for what we do, separate to all of you guys, we know that those people are like-minded, passionate, and dedicated to helping other people in the org. Actually making friends, actually helping people, and actually genuinely wanting to help people. That's the difference. Numbers don't matter. Quality people do. And it's gonna take 5 years for you to get 1,000 members. So be it. It's better than having 10,000 members in 6 months, because 95% of them aren't there to be part of your org. That's the difference. So guys, hopefully the old guard watches this. The whales watch this and they look back and go, he's right. It's time to get all of my shits onto Starhanger and get out while I can to recoup some money before it all becomes worthless. If you're a YouTuber who has specialized in Star Citizen only for this entire time, what happens at 1.0 moving forward? Your content flow turns into a trickle. How else are you going to support yourself? If YouTube is your only income, that is. So we need to start growing up as a community. The old guard, you need to just make some serious decisions at this stage right now, whether you stay or leave, whether you can adjust and adapt and grow with the rest of us that are looking forward. Take the break if you need to. If YouTube is your only income source, go get a normal job. Or be like me, start your own business. I run an IT business. I'm not short of a buck. So yeah, adapt, evolve, grow. And if this isn't for you, just leave. Nobody's going to hate you for it, except for Montoya. Everyone already hates him with great passion. And they find him the butt of all jokes. He is the clown. He is the Star Citizen clown. He's the, special patient mascot picture cartoon for the game. He's the bottom of the barrel of the bottom of the barrel. He's the gritty little shitty bits at the bottom that nobody wants to touch. Mike, you had a good run. Think about what you're going to do next, dude. My strong advice would be take a break at least. Go get a normal job in the meantime. Do a 9 to 5 or a couple of jobs, just to get you by, to make up for the money that you're not making on YouTube. Get your life together. Get your head together. Change your attitude and change who you are for the benefit of you and your audience moving forward. Okay? Everyone's done with the whingy bitchy shit. Your community is telling you very sternly to stop it now. You say you're going to change, mate. Leopards never change their spots. You have to get out, touch some grass and get a job and learn some more social skills, mate, because whatever social skills you had when you were twerk are gone. Anyway, look, that's just how it is. And if you don't like it, buddy, I just couldn't care less. Everyone's saying it to you. I'm an IT professional trying to explain to you still to this day that hardware is holding the development back, and you're going to probably bitch and whinge about that too, right? And you're going to lose more subscribers. For everyone else, just look forward. Don't look back. Don't think about what's happened. Think about what's coming. Prepare yourself. If your org is not willing to provide you that support and help now, stick it out with them, the socialist aspect at least, right? And then move on when 1.0 hits. Start shopping quietly. Just start shopping other orgs. Once you have found an org that is really a good fit for you, then jump ship. Don't affiliate, leave, and start fresh as an exclusive member with that org. Things don't work out, leave again quietly and go exclusive with another org. being an affiliate or an ally, do not do in this game. Just do not do it. It'll cause too much interfighting. People will backstab people. Then you'll get dragged into it. Oh, he's part of that org and there's a dickhead in that org that I hate and he's obviously just like them. Why is he here? You understand what I'm saying? Remove yourself from any other relation or blame that you can possibly do for your sake by just becoming exclusive with whichever org you are with at that time. It'll minimize the downtime for you. It'll minimize the hassle. And if things aren't working out there, or it's not as they said that it's going to be, and at first, everyone's like all lovey and dovey and flowers and happiness, and then the true colors start showing about 1 to 2 weeks later, right? Especially once you're actually out doing training, or out actually doing missions, or out doing rep, and you get barked at by someone in the org because, you're not doing what they've told you to do, although there was no clear dissemination of what you had to do, so you just took your own initiative and started doing your own thing, right? To get in trouble for it, leave that org, move on. Look, guys, there are so many orgs that have come and gone. So many to date. The biggest will fail and crash. There is going to be a massive amount of fallout of X-Test, X-ADI, X-IPC, God, the list goes on, right? Of all these other orgs who are going to be flying around and they're going to be numpties when they first come in. They're going to have a stupid attitude because that's the culture they came from. They're going to need a massive amount of retraining. Patience, tolerance, understanding from management to go, right, yeah, you're an idiot. Let's deprogram you from being an idiot into somebody who's useful for us, and you can benefit for yourself by having a great experience by learning how to do things properly finally. And then if they still don't work out, then move them on. But at least you've empowered them with some basic skill set. So when they do move on, they may become an asset to somebody else in future. And that's the whole idea of Star Citizen. It is a community. It is a player-driven economy. Doesn't matter if you don't like them. Someone else might. And someone else may see value in them or be able to get through to them where you couldn't. Can't please everybody, right? Can't get through to everybody either. Guys, I'm CTT, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out. Cheers.